Hello, everyone. Thank you for signing on to Amtrak Vacations presentation. Today, we'll be talking about overnight rail vacations with us here, Amtrak Vacations, of course. There I am, your host, Jarrett Kettinger. Now, folks, I want to thank you for signing on to the presentation. If any of you have any questions, or if you get really excited about the idea of rail travel and some of the great packages we will cover in a few moments, then feel free after the webinar is over to give us a call there. You'll find our hotline, 1-800-268-7252, ready and available to receive your call again after the webinar ends. So overall, what will we cover today? Of course, the topic of the day is overnight rail vacations and what it's like to go overnight, whether it's for one night, a couple of nights, cross country, on board the train, what the cabins are like, what the meals are like, and all sorts of great other aspects. We'll cover some popular destinations for you yourself to consider for your next rail vacation or next vacation in general. We'll briefly cover how it is and what it's like to route the vacations to go from your most local hometown or most convenient station. And we're going to give you a sneak peek on a special limited time offer. So folks, it is important to note that as we continue along the webinar, there are two distinct brands for you to be aware of, for you to book your vacations with, here under our overall Yankee Leisure Group family of brands. Of course, the host brand of the presentation today is Amtrak Vacations, but just as we're Amtrak Vacations, we are also rail bookers as well. So what's an Amtrak vacation? What is a rail booker's independent rail holiday? Well, simply put, we put together the wonderful packaged itineraries, organized, customized to your personal requests and needs, with the hotels, sightseeing, attractions, and missions, all those parts and bits, along with the scenic, relaxing, beautiful experience of traveling by train. Now, as its name would suggest, with Amtrak Vacations, that of course is here by way of Amtrak within the contiguous United States. But just as we're Amtrak Vacations, we are also rail bookers, and it's the same idea. Just where Amtrak Vacations is here within the United States, rail bookers is Europe, Canada, Australia, Alaska, parts of Asia, and all over the world travel. Simple as that. Now, we mentioned that we would cover where you can route your vacations from your most local hometown. Well, folks, it's important to note that everywhere on this map, you're seeing a colorful red line. That's a route that Amtrak travels on. Everywhere you're seeing a green line, we often get questions on what those are. Those are motor coach bus service routes that will connect to an Amtrak route. Everywhere you're seeing a little white dot, that is a train station, one of 500 that Amtrak travels through. So whether you're coming out of a major hub like Chicago or New York City or Los Angeles, or a more local station, maybe you're coming out of Dodge City, Kansas, or Gainesville, Georgia, Boston, Massachusetts, or Redding, California, we can get you routed from your most local station. In those stars, those are indicating where Amtrak Vacations has packages that we go to. And again, those packages incorporate the hotels and sightseeing and all of the great experience of the vacation, of the holiday, with the rail travel to get there. Now, why travelers love to go with Amtrak Vacations? Well, just the planning stage itself is so much easier because you're working with a rail expert who has that rail expert knowledge. And you can quote unquote book from today to as far out as 2023. So if you are looking to travel before the end of the calendar year of 2021, we can send you. If you're planning in advance, getting ready to travel for next year, and let me tell you, everybody is booking now for next year, we can help get that done for you now. Or perhaps you're not ready to go just yet, but you're absolutely getting ready to plan for 2023. We can plan and book as far out as then as well. And we have a maximum flexibility. Basically, because we run along with and when the trains run, we simply say you can go to any destination for pretty much any length of time. Essentially, as long as that destination is open and available and the trains are running there, you can go. And because we're Amtrak Vacations and Rail Bookers, because we can send you across the USA or across Canada, because we can send you throughout many of, if not most of the great European countries, across Australia, we can send you on some wonderful once in a lifetime luxury experiences or whatever you're looking for. We have the largest rail selection worldwide, and no rail trip is too complicated for us. And again, folks, it's important to note that whether you are looking to go from today or before the end of the year to 2023, it is important for you to know to call us and get it booked and at least deposited to secure the trip ASAP. Travel is going to be in high demand next year. It's already picking up. People are already getting ready. And the earlier you book it, whether it's now, next year, for next year or the year after, is the cheapest you're going to get it. Now, why book now in addition to just wanting to, of course, help you save some money? Well, in addition to just our maximum flexibility of where and when you can travel, we are also extending our maximum flexibility regarding any changes or cancellation penalties. We're going to be extending that as far out as January 4th of next year. So any time that you book between now and then, if anything happens to your reservation, whether you need to make date changes, whether something comes up that, Lord forbid, you need to cancel, you will not incur any change or cancellation fees by booking by then. And I did say I would give you a quick sneak peek on our upcoming special promotions. Well, right along with the typical Black Friday events, folks should know that you can reach out to us at the 1-800-268-7252 and get early access to our Black Friday sale deal. So give us a call. You can save up to $350 per couple, and we'd love to see you save. So overall, what are some options available with Amtrak Vacations? Well, we can take our itineraries, say it's our ever popular jazz, blues, and rock and roll that does Chicago, Memphis, and New Orleans all in one package, with the Amtrak, the City of New Orleans route to connect all three of those destinations. Wonderful sightseeing and experiences in each of those places. And say you really like that itinerary, one of our other popular ones, we can readjust them. Perhaps you reach out to us and say, we want the jazz, blues, and rock and roll, but we want to add on a stop in Atlanta, Georgia after the New Orleans portion. So we can add on a destination, if that makes sense. We can add extra nights to the package. The itinerary does 2 nights Chicago, 2 nights Memphis, 3 nights New Orleans. Perhaps you would like to do an extra night in Chicago to start the trip. No problem. As I mentioned before, we can route your vacations from your most local hometown. Whether you're coming out of Bellevue, Washington, Schenectady, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, or coming out of Lafayette, Louisiana, we can organize our trips to add on the train or the most convenient route from your local hometown to go out to the destination or to go out to the vacation package and even return to that station in the end if you want. As always, we can upgrade your rail tickets to include business class or one of the sleepers. We'll cover that in just a moment. And we always include sightseeing and excursions and attraction admissions, the experiences at the places you're visiting. But if there were specific things you wanted to see and do and accomplish, we can make sure to get those added in. And folks, as we start looking at what the overnight experience is like on the train, it should be noted that packing for the train is simple and easy. You're allowed 2 free carry-ons per person and 2 check bags per person. And luggage is really convenient to handle. It can be checked in as close in as 45 minutes prior to departure. So overall, what is it like on board the train? Well, first and foremost, here is coach seating, folks. Now, I do want to give you folks a little bit of an imaginary situation. This photo was obviously taken prior to COVID. Right now, everyone, passengers and staff members alike, are required to wear a facial covering, a mask on board the train and throughout the station. That is the rule. So you can just imagine these folks wearing masks. But you can see what the overall comfort level is like. It's 2 big plush seats in coach seating, no pesky middle seat. The seats themselves recline at a 45-degree angle with a leg rest that'll kick up, a tray table that will fold down, plenty of legroom, and I mean real plenty of legroom, plenty of room above head for luggage, and a nice big picture window to enjoy all the sights out of. Because that is one of the main aspects and benefits of traveling by the train. You'll be able to see the countryside going up along or down the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. You'll be able to see the cityscapes of America's greatest cities coming into view right from the window of the train. Now, that is coach seating, and coach is comfortable. And there are some, of course, creature comforts of coach seating, such as reclining at a 45-degree angle, making it easy to sleep. At night, everything goes dark in the cabin. And of course, they draw the windows closed, so everything is real easy to rest. But if you did want your own private sleeper for the overnight experience, let's get into that right now, because there are some inherent benefits, such as priority separate boarding onto the train ahead of everyone else. If you have a sleeper cabin of whatever form, you are going to be led onto and let onto the train ahead of the general admission. So you can get onto the train, get into your cabin, start relaxing, start preparing yourself for the overall travel, and not have to deal with the hustle and bustle of the general admission. Also, you will have a dedicated attendant to your sleeper cabin train car, and their jobs are aplenty. First and foremost, they're very friendly and helpful. If you had any questions, concerns, just pieces of advice, they're there to answer those for you. Also, as it lists here, they will provide the included toiletries, bottled water, coffee, etc. They'll even come around from time to time and let you know that, hey, folks, in just a few short minutes, you're going to be wanting to look out the window because you'll see XYZ beautiful destination or beautiful scenery or so on and so forth. They'll also serve as a level of security. They'll help to come around in the evening to fold everything down to the bedding. And they will keep everything clean and shipshape and up to date so you are comfortable along your journey. Now, I mentioned that everyone on board the train, passengers and staff members alike, are required to wear facial coverings. However, if you have a sleeper cabin, which of course comes with the privacy door, once you are in your cabin with that privacy door shut, you then can remove your facial coverings. So if there's anyone on the webinar now that was like balking a little bit about the idea of wearing the facial coverings, throughout the long distance of travel, then just inquire about a sleeper cabin. Once the door is shut, you don't have to wear them anymore. And we are very excited because, as always, the meals have been included or provided as a part of the overall experience of having a sleeper cabin. And as always, the meals can be provided right to the cabin itself. So if you want your own private meal in your own private sleeper, that is easy. But the real reason we're excited is that traditional dining service has been restored in the long distance scenic trains, meaning the dining cars are back. And we're very excited because it goes right along with us celebrating Amtrak's 50th anniversary. That's this year, 2021. And the menus have been updated. They're all still cooked to order. The food is each evening and each day for each meal. And each evening, you'll also receive complimentary hors d'oeuvres, as well as a first complimentary adult beverage. And so, quite a lot to be excited about. What do the sleepers look like? Well, this, folks, is the sleeper roomette. Arguably, it's the most sold sleeper, most commonly purchased or sold sleeper. During the day, it's two big plush seats and its own cozy cabin with its own big picture window to enjoy all the lovely sights out of. It should be noted that whether you're in a roomette, the next step up into the bedroom, which I'll bring up in a moment, an ADA accessible cabin, a family cabin, whatever it may be, it is always bunk style sleeping. That is the style. Now, the difference between the roomette and the bedroom is that the restrooms are down the hall, but I'll address that a little bit more in a moment. Here you can see the relaxing nature of traveling on board the train. By the way, folks, the bedding can be folded down during the daytime as well. So you don't have to specifically just enjoy it in the evening time. And this is what it looks like for the bunk style, bigger image blown up. Now, I did mention the restrooms are down the hall. They are shared, but they're only shared with those in the roomette train car. You are not sharing with the entire rest of the train itself. That being said, the next step up is the sleeper bedroom, which is a bigger cabin. During the day, it has a long couch and a big captain's chair, a nice big picture window to enjoy the sights out of. That is the style, that is the benefit of traveling by train. And it has its own bathroom and shower within the room itself. In fact, you can see the door to said bathroom and shower right there in the photo on the left. Again, we do like to show you a blown up diagram of the cabin. You can see that here, and it has the indicated cabin within the cabin with the in-room shower, in-room restroom. And if anyone on the presentation travels with ADA accessible needs or requirements, walker, wheelchair, what have you, of course we can accommodate you with an ADA accessible cabin on the lower level of the train car. They run the width of the train car so they can easily accommodate walkers, wheelchairs, what have you. So let's talk about some of our overnight rail packages here with Amtrak Vacations. One of our most popular and easily one of the most common trendingly sold packages is the Northern Rail Experience. Folks, whenever you see a rail experience itinerary, largely what it's highlighting is that you are going to be spending most of the trip on board the train. So if you would like to just sit back, relax, and explore the country by way of your comfort level of the seat on the train, of the comfort level of the big picture window, the rail experiences are for you. This itinerary starts in Chicago, which is the major hub of Amtrak, though of course we can always reroute these packages to start from your most local hometown. And if you would like to, say, extend the package or build upon it and do a night or so in the Windy City, we, of course, can get you a hotel night, build it into the package. You may even want to stay for a night in the very beautiful Drake Hotel, one of the most historic properties in Chicago. From there, you would take the train overnight and head out into Seattle for a night stay in Seattle, so quick night there. And then heading down into San Francisco, where we would include admission for the famous San Francisco cable cars, as well as some other great attractions all around the city. Now, as I highlighted before, the benefit of this particular package isn't just going to these wonderful destinations, but it is going overnight on board the train for an extended period of time. In this case, is 2 nights from Chicago to Seattle on the Empire Builder, 1 night overnight on the Coast Starlight, and then 2 nights on the California Zephyr from San Francisco back to Chicago. Next up, we have the rails to the Grand Canyon. This is one of many Grand Canyon itineraries and packages we have here. And so this itinerary starts in the greater Los Angeles area at Los Angeles Union Station. But if, say, you wanted to come out of the hub of Chicago, or again, your most local hometown, we can absolutely route you from there. This itinerary has 2 overnight rail experiences from Los Angeles to Williams, Arizona, and back again on board the Southwest Chief. So imagine, folks, boarding in Los Angeles in the evening time, sitting down, enjoying the relaxing experience of a cabin on board the train, waking up for the early breakfast the next morning as you're heading through the red rocks of Arizona. You would then connect through Williams, Arizona, where you would take a ride on the Grand Canyon Railway Service, which is a wonderful extra train ride, so to speak, through the desert and Ponderosa Forest into the south rim of the Grand Canyon. We would then actually have you stay for 2 nights at the south rim of the canyon in one of the lodges. And again, folks, it is worth noting that these lodges are getting booked up for next year. So please give us a call and inquire ASAP. So that, folks, is the rails to the Grand Canyon itinerary. Then we have the Pacific Rail Experience. So another variation of the Northern Rail Experience. This one going from Chicago down on the Southwest Chief to Los Angeles, up along the ever popular Coast Starlight along the Pacific Ocean to San Francisco, and then the California Zephyr back to Chicago. So again, the jumping off point is in Chicago. We have a stay there. There you can see the Bean right next to Millennium Park. You can explore around the Windy City. Head out into Los Angeles by way of the Southwest Chief. There in Los Angeles, we usually include a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. Those are those double-decker open-air tour buses where you can get on and off all around the city at your leisure, whether you want to do the Hollywood Bowl or head out onto the Walk of Fame, the Chinese Theater, Santa Monica Pier, whatever you'd like to do. Head on up on the Coast Starlight, ending in San Francisco for a stay in San Francisco, where we'll include a full day tour out to the Muir Woods, as well as a bay cruise out in Sausalito. And then you can see the overnight inclusions all around from Chicago down to Los Angeles, the ride up along the coast to San Francisco, and then the route from San Francisco back to Chicago overnight on the California Zephyr. And then last but absolutely not least is the Grand Rail Experience. This is very popular. I like to refer to it as the big loop around the country because it visits several major U.S. cities along multiple popular Amtrak routes. And you can just sit back, relax, and literally see all sides of the country on one trip. So it starts in Chicago on the Empire Builder, heading out into Seattle for a stay in Seattle, going down on the full run of the Coast Starlight into Los Angeles for a couple of nights stay in Los Angeles. Before heading out into New Orleans, you can see the very popular, for very tasty reasons, beignets at Cafe du Monde. The train on the Sunset Limited will take you right into downtown New Orleans before heading up into our nation's capital for a stay in Washington, D.C., and looping back to Chicago at the end of the trip. So that, folks, is the Grand Rail experience. You can see all the overnights included on board the train, all of the inclusions staying in Seattle, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Washington, D.C. to connect to 4 corners of our country, all on one itinerary. So a friendly reminder, folks, you can inquire now about the Black Friday sale event. Give us a call. We can potentially give you early access to save up to $350 per couple on your next rail vacation. In addition to that, to save a little bit more money, please always feel about inquiring about discounts, say for children traveling with you. Children aged 2 to 12 receive a 50% discount off the base rail ticket package. Seniors 65 and over receive a 10% discount off the base rail ticket package. And then any active military personnel, spouses, and dependents will also receive a 10% discount off the base rail ticket package. Any questions? Any inquiries? Feel free to give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. You can chat with our friendly vacation consultants. They can work together with you to customize the itinerary, answer any questions, concerns you might have. If you needed to work on any existing itineraries, they can put you in contact with our customer service department. I want to thank you all for attending the webinar today. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to having you on another Amtrak Vacations webinar soon.